Over the last several decades, dozens upon dozens of shopping malls have all said goodbye. The idea of going out to the mall and shopping till you're dropping has faded, except for several malls like this one, Woodland Mall, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Recently, Woodland lost its Sears, but thanks to a $100 million renovation, it's alive and well.
Now your host, Peter Marshall.
Okay, so Kenny Williams has been dead now for 35 years. If he was still alive, he'd be well past 100 years old. Hello everyone, 'tis I, your old pal, King Chuck. And welcome to the new and improved Woodland Mall in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And, you know, this is the first time I've ever been truly excited about the grand opening of a new shopping mall in such a very long time. You know, when I was a kid, growing up in Traverse City, Michigan, I was so excited when Grand Traverse Mall opened. It was Traverse City's first modern shopping mall since Cherryland opened in the 70s. And, of course, Grand Traverse Mall kind of chased Cherryland out of town, and, you know, that's the way it is with a lot of newer shopping malls versus older malls. But, you know, Woodland, it's hard to believe it, but this mall went under a $100 million renovation. A couple years ago, Sears left, and instead of having the vacant building sit there for years and years, Priet decided, hey, we're going to build an addition. And this new store, Von Maur, unlike Sears, unlike Macy's and Penny's and all these other department store chains, they are actually growing. And believe it or not, they only have 33 locations. And apparently, if you looked at that old sign earlier in the video, it said that once upon a time, they were a Boston store. And Boston stores, as we all know, we're part of the Bon-Ton, and they all closed. Okay, and one of the cool things about Bon-Ton, they have a piano player in their central concourse. And it sounds like that woman in the middle is playing Blue Moon, which is this really old-timey song from way back when. Anybody can play the piano if you go to a Von Maur. I actually did at one point, and I played my rousing rendition of Chopsticks. The only bad thing about Von Maur is, yes, it's a little pricey. You better have some bucks in your pocket if you want to shop there. Now, I used my mini cam, and there were a lot of people there, so unfortunately I got a lot of butts in there. But if you don't like looking at butts, I'm sorry. I just don't want to bring a big, flimsy cell phone cam to the mall. But anyway, some of the other new stores in this new wing of the mall include Urban Outfitters. I'm not a fan of Urban Outfitters simply because the guy who founded it is a right-wing turd trying to exploit young people. The Black Rock, as you can see, is a store, actually it's a restaurant that serves meat with a 500-degree salt brick. There's Made in Michigan, which sells Made in Michigan products. They are actually a comeback to the mall. And, you know, the only unfortunate thing about this wing of the mall is that it's not totally developed yet. They're going to bring some new stores in. White as you can see on the wall to your left, White Market. What is it? White. I keep forgetting the name of that store. What is it? White something, black something, whatever. Oh, and I love the sequin wall. Look, I write my name. I kinda. There. I also wrote on that White House Black Market. There we go. I keep forgetting the name of that store. They already have a location at Rivertown Crossings, right across the city. Another new store is Williams Sonoma to your right, and there were a lot of people that day, so there were some people blocking me, unfortunately. Williams Sonoma was in the old JCPenney Wayne. Sephora, that was a temporary entrance to the mall for 2 years, but then that used to be where Walden Books and what's the other store? Legend Sports and Games used to be. That's Legends moved across the street. Of course, Walden Books went out of business. Now, the mall. Thankfully, the mall is saying that Forever 21 is not going to close. But who knows at this point? Forever 21 recently announced their bankruptcy. But like I said, a lot of people in the mall that day. I got a couple butt shots by mistake. If you were in the video and I got footage of your ass, my apologies. I just didn't want to. I just want to, the reason why I shoot these videos is because this is an important day in Woodland's 50-plus year history. I'm chronicling what this, I want people to watch this video 50 years from now to say, this is what Woodland used to look like? But the good news is it's one of the very few malls in America where a lot of renovation takes place and the owners pay a lot of money. And judging by the amount of people walking around the mall buying stuff, they're getting their money's worth. Wishlist is another new store. Rhoda, that's a store that sells like art stuff. That's another new store. And to your left also is Dough Life, which is a store that sells cookie dough, edible cookie dough, which is kind of sad because it's right, a couple of feet away from Dairy Queen. And it's like, if I want to eat cookie dough, I want to eat it with some ice cream in a blizzard. Well, to each their own, and I do wish them luck. So, because cookie dough can kind of take the saliva out of your mouth. Look ahead, folks. There were some security guards. There were a lot of security in the mall today. I just didn't want to get caught, so I pretended to start walking into the Apple store, but didn't quite make it. Thankfully, the cops kind of ignored me, and I moved on. I kind of wanted to see how the other department stores were doing in the mall, and up ahead, of course, is Macy's. They were doing okay. Now, this is one of the very few vacancies in the mall. The old Bath & Body Works, they just moved to the Von Maur wing and that new blue and white frame on the building. Currently, right now, Bath & Body Works is a temporary training center for the Cheesecake Factory. That will be opening up next month. And my mom is hyped about it. She wants to go there so bad. Here, let me explain this to you. And another vacancy right now in the mall, it was the old Master Cuts to your right. Master Cuts was there for many years. Unfortunately, I got one of the worst haircuts ever from Master Cuts. And I never went back because they just took a blade to my head and they left a long strand behind. Whoops. But I guess, according to their website, it will reopen as a place called Masters. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm more of a Jude's guy. Ever hear of Jude's? They were that haircut place that man's hair salon where they used to give you a glass of beer when you got a haircut, but they had to stop doing it because that involved getting a liquor license and all that weird stuff. And the beer they usually served was Pabst Blue Ribbon, which of course doesn't necessarily count as beer, especially in a state that has given us better brands of beer like Shorts and Bell's, and of course Grand Rapids based Founders. So yeah, these are the two smaller wings of the mall, towards Macy's. I've noticed that Woodland is now kind of in a cross shape, which kind of makes sense because Grand Rapids is a predominantly Christian city. It is the home of the Christian Reformist faith. And they tend to be very conservative in their beliefs and whatnot. Of course, every mall has to have an Auntie Anne's. And that's where it is at Woodland. Okay, and of course, there's a lot of new cars in the mall being showcased off. There was a Cadillac earlier in the Von Maur wing. I actually did a survey for them, and I got a free blankie. Hey, I get to snuggle on my couch during these long, cold winters. But yes, heading towards the center concourse, there's a Starbucks there. To your left, there's a Select Comforts Mattress Center and Rogers and Hollins. I think where Doe Life used to be Tivana, and for a very small period of time after Tivana closed, it became a toy store, and that closed too. And this mall is a nice mix of local and chain businesses, and I'm happy they're getting a lot of chain stores too. But of course, I always kind of wondered what was going to happen to all the stores that moved over to the Von Maur wing. And soon you're going to see up ahead where Williams-Sonoma used to be. That store that sells pots and pans and other kitchen equipment. They moved to the Von Maur wing, and if you can see up ahead, it is now a store that sells like picture frames and whatnot. And I'm like, this is so cool. By the way, to your left, that used to be Charlotte Russe. Yes, Macario's Decor. I can't believe it. Williams-Sonoma wasn't even closed for a week at that location, and now it has a new store there that quickly replaced it. Woodland is the Wonder Mall. Once a store closes, a new store will take over in no time. And, Charlotte Russe has been closed for a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen to it. I'm hoping something nice will happen there. I'm looking up ahead at JCPenney. I'm trying to see up ahead. And it does seem to be somewhat busy. It's also next to the food court. I'm going to warn you, at this point, as you can see, my camera's starting to drag down a little bit. It's hard to look at the screen and walk at the same time. And unfortunately, I am kind of disappointed that I didn't get a good shot at the new, what used to be what happened was in the mid-center of the mall, there was a soft play area called Bacon and Eggs, and they closed it so they could build a new kids center there and in the food court. So it's like 2 stories tall. It's got a slide and everything. I didn't get a good shot of the food court, unfortunately, but I'll tell you this right now. The food court really hasn't changed much in the last couple of years. The only major change that's happened is the spot where Zazon Latino is. And Zazon has really awesome food. But before it was Zazon, it was a burger joint that was also excellent called Dad's Classic Grill. No, kid, I don't want any Boy Scout treats. I'm sorry. But anyway, I will say this about Zazon. The food there is brilliant. They are on par with Chipotle and Qdoba and all the other places, except they're locally owned. And I guess they do pretty good. Dad's unfortunately didn't do very well. It started off as a catering business, and then they decided to get a space in the food court to serve burgers. I thought they were excellent, but unfortunately, the place was, I guess, very understaffed. And right around this point, I figured the error of my ways, and I moved my camera back up so I can get a good shot of the tops of the buildings instead of just the floor. But then again, we've all seen all this before, There we go. I guess Charlotte Russe will be something else pretty soon. I don't know. I kind of like the design, though, of the burgers and the ties and the coat hangers and stuff like that. That's kind of a nice 80s design, rediscover Woodland Mall, because a lot of people are like, yeah, I'll tell you, even before the renovations took place, this mall was actually doing pretty good. And Sears would have been a death knell to them, but Von Maur, being one of the very few department store chains in America that actually wants to expand, because hey, there are folks who have money. There are some folks out there who don't like shopping on the internet for clothes. And I actually, the Von Maur, even though it is kind of small to my liking, they do have some pretty cool stuff in there. And it's a little pricey, but then again, oh well. In this wing of the mall, you got Cosmic Candy Factory, but then up ahead, you're going to see another store called The Glove. Oh, I love The Glove. And the reason why I love The Glove is because both these businesses are from Pentwater, and they both come to the mall during this time of year because up in Pentwater, it's a big tourist trap. And The Glove sells some pretty neat clothes.
Right now for you, new at 5:30, with the convenience of online shopping, of course, it's really no surprise that department stores just keep closing.
Yeah, this is pretty shocking. That wasn't the case today in Norwalk, where stores actually opened at a brand new shopping mall. You don't hear that many times these days. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Aya Galal takes us inside the Sono collection.
It's an exciting day along the shoreline.
I bought lipstick already. Well, I'm excited. I've been up all morning trying to figure out, I couldn't wait for the opening.
Nordstrom is one of many stores that officially opened its doors to shoppers today at the Sono Collection shopping mall.
I had foundation done, had a hand massage.
82 stores are opening at this new upscale mall in Norwalk. Other stores like Bloomingdale's and Connecticut's first Amazon store will open in the coming weeks.
I'm excited for the Amazon store. I saw one in Manhattan, so I'm really excited for the one here.
And with the ease of online shopping, those in the retail business are trying to cater to all sorts of shoppers.
Meeting customers' expectations and exceeding them is getting tougher every year. Customers have so many options and choices on how to shop.
And just to give you an idea of how stores like Nordstrom are catering to online shoppers, you can put in your online order, pick it up over here, try it on, and if the size doesn't fit well, you can request another size, you can request help by clicking the button, and someone will help you out. And as more and more people shift towards online shopping, the real estate company managing this new mall is putting the emphasis on art, culture, and community.
It's all about how we build our space to meld with the community, to evolve, to be a different kind of space.
They're evolving with the way people shop. Here, you'll notice many community spaces with charging stations and artwork.
It's wonderful, beautiful open spaces, beautiful artwork, and it's just very welcoming to the neighborhood.
And shoppers are thrilled about the new stores coming just in time for the busy holiday shopping season.
I can't wait till Bloomingdale's and everything else is open. We're excited.
In Norwalk, Aya Galal, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
I thought that they stopped building malls in like 2006, 2007. Wow. This is a good sign that, yes, malls can make a comeback. Maybe if they can build them trendier and nicer, and technology on the internet and brick and mortars can work together like that, I wish them but the best of success. I checked that mall. It's only about 700,000 square feet. It's not a big mega mall by any means, but maybe bigger isn't always better. You understand, folks? But then again, Woodland is still, I guess they actually downsized a little bit because Sears was a giant monstrosity of a store. But considering that the new additions to the mall will bring in more stores and more services, this is good news. And in Grand Rapids, like I said, is a quick, they've grown by like 20,000 people over the last couple of years. Hey, Priet has a good mall on their hands, and that $100 million is definitely going to go a long way. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our adventure. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye, everybody.